So the applications of a diagonal motion with the upper torso is prevalent in almost every level of client or athlete, no matter what your condition. But the premise is the pattern's important and valuable, but if it bothers you or causes some pain, you've got to modify and tailor it to yourself or to the client you're working with. So we'll presume we've done some body weight stuff and the body feels good, client feels good. For even if they're seated and they're just taking the ball low to high, we're going to activate lots of things in their torso. In the seated position, their hips can't roll a lot, so you want to be careful with how much load and how aggressive you are with the speed. And notice the arms, real simple, keeping the ball in close, nothing huge and dramatic, putting things at risk. From there, and for most people, we can go to a standing position, even if it's a baby squat. The question arises, do I follow the ball with my eyes, or do I keep my eyes straight ahead? You'll rotate more with the eyes going, and there's certain stimulus to your senses, and then that'll change if you keep the eyes straight ahead. For most of our athletes, we start rotating, and then we pare them down to go straight ahead, because they're gonna have to get that motion looking down the line. From the squat, we get a little more dramatic in the squat. And then we build to a lunge out to that side. And then we might build to a lunge the other way, putting them in a bit more of a distressed position, but still being able to load and explode through the hips in that midsection. Next step is to add a little bit more mass or a little bit more momentum to the mass they're using. So we add a little shuffle or dubstep, low to high. And we tend to emphasize the getting home, that pulling back down tends to be more important for most people. But you could emphasize the uphill in that regard, the opposite regard as well. Final stage, if it's appropriate for the client, we add a little bit of action where we load onto a pure single leg. So a bound and come home, a bound and come home. And then we could go the other way, looking like that lunge sequence we did. From here, opposite. That really is a taxing load on that hip and up through the low back, but it's important in an athletic population to get them prepared for what our friends at the Gray Institute would call the oh gosh position. So take that diagonal pattern, apply it to yourself or to your client, whatever level or whatever progression seems appropriate for them, and best of luck. Watch it open up their spine, as long as you do it in a safe progression. Woo, got me out of breath.